Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2024, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2024 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out more information about the upcoming election for Shakopee City Council. Now I'd like to introduce Councilmember Jay Whiting. Thank you for joining us today. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks to the Chamber for putting on this event and the upcoming debate, we'll call it. My name is Jay Whiting, and I'm currently a city council member and your vice mayor. I've been on the city council for, almost 13 years now, and I've been liaison to the chamber. So I said that first, at least. So I've been on the board of directors. I am on the board of directors for the Minnesota Valley Transit Authority, Economic Development Authority member, past chair of the Scott County Association for Leadership and Efficiency, past Shakopee Public Utility Liaison and School Board Liaison, Historic Preservation Advisory Commission Chair. I've been on the chair of the Cable Access Corporation, chair of the Shakopee Heritage Society, chair of the Scott County Historical Society. One time I was voted Shakopee Hometown Hero, actually, for all this stuff I've done. But my regular job is I've been 40 years in the printing industry and 25 years as a compliance and safety specialist. So right now I'm doing safety inspections through Canada and the U.S. And here in Minneapolis. So that's what I do. That's me.
Great. Thank you, Jay. First question. Let's get to those questions. First one is, why are you running for re-election for city council?
Well, this is I've done this interview a few times, and it's changed over the years. You know, we've done dog parks and second sheet of ice and a second grocery store, and worked on getting downtown revitalized, and I think it's doing pretty good. What I found out as being a council member and member of city government is that things take a long time. And we got some projects that I've been working on for years. And I want to make sure that those get seen through. And I think we're going to go into that in our second questions. But the main focus I really want to focus on is that fire department. You know, we had some major failures in our fire department management. We had to make changes and bring on a new professional fire chief. We were not in conformance with normal standards for fire departments, and that Citygate study showed a lot of things, and we really need to rebuild our fire department with a professional fire staff. Not that they weren't professional, but volunteers just don't volunteer anymore, so we need to have a full-time fire department. So I'm moving into question 2. That's my first priority.
Perfect.
As a city council member.
Well, great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, that's priority 1 for you, but what other couple priorities are you looking at?
Sure.
And how would you address them?
Well, I know we're getting to economic development, but I think this is part and parcel is that riverbank stabilization, and that's really the start of that cultural corridor. So this is kind of the stepping stone. First, we want to make sure our sewers and everything are protected from the river. Floods this year have been outrageous, and you can see our sewer pipes getting closer and closer to the river. We want to make sure that's protected, and the new plans are very nice, and it's actually going to create cultural tourism in Shakopee, which is economic development and hopefully a boon for the chamber. That would be my second priority, is that riverbank stabilization and cultural corridor. Third priority would be that innovation hub. If you haven't heard about that, we have lots of money coming in from federal and state funds and any source we can get from. We've partnered with many different groups to try and make innovation center in some property we have downtown. And this is it's kind of a work in progress, but it's more or less laid out now, not in stone yet, but in concept. So this will be a place where businesses can thrive and bring in potential to train their employees, have more industrial and commercial training involved in this center, and partner with some major educational organizations. That would be the third priority I have. And if I had a fourth, it would be keeping our taxes down like we've been doing.
Great.
Right.
Well, thank you, Jay. What strategies do you propose for managing the city's budget while ensuring necessary services and infrastructure improvements? And you talked a little bit about that in just the last question.
Yeah, infrastructure is always something, and part of that is going to be part of some of the concerns along with the fire department. We have some big hurdles in the next few years, and how we fund that is a big deal. And I'm not opposed to going on bonding for some of those projects. The city has plenty of wherewithal to pay bond payments back easily, get these projects done. As you know, Shakopee plans way out into the future. We're focusing on next year's budget. That's what's going to get paid for. But we plan 10, 15 years out, and more focused things are 5 years out. But that capital improvement plan has some things that are going to be a stretch. So we're going to have to find some ways to finance that. And I think bonding is the best way to do some of that. As far as other infrastructure improvements, we've been doing pretty good clipping off some of these parks and playgrounds and doing great on our roads and things. When I first started, people were petitioning us to fix their roads and sewers. So we've come a long way.
Great. Thank you. How do you plan to strengthen economic development to support existing businesses and attract new businesses to Shakopee?
We have a pretty robust toolbox, we call it, for economic development. And we utilize that. We've tinkered with that a little bit, making sure we're not giving away taxes for jobs that aren't paying a good, decent rate. There's other terms in that, and there's other tools that we have. We try and use any tool we can, and economic development also goes with housing, and we're using some tools through the county and the state programs to create some more affordable housing with that. But that's also part of economic development. Also, some of the projects with the entrepreneur group, that's kind of a group that Shakopee, City of Shakopee is involved with, that is reaching out to entrepreneurs to create a friendly business atmosphere to leapfrog off other businesses in town to help them get business and promote their business and learn from other business. And I think that's been going great. And that's kind of a incubator for our innovation hub. And I think that's a great tool for economic development. We have some of the only land that a lot of new business, if they want to build, Shakopee moving out of the township, we have land available. So that helps too.
It does. And how will you work to ensure transparency and communication between the city council and Shakopee residents?
Good question. Shakopee doesn't have a newspaper anymore. And
it does not, no.
That makes it hard for us local politicians, for one thing, and for other people trying to advertise locally. And as a past historian and continued historian, the demographics of the deaths, the births, and the marriages is something I brought up at City Council, that our communication team and they are looking at what they can do to try and at least capture some of this data. And as you may have seen, our communication team does great with communicating what's going on with Shakopee development and Shakopee Parks and Rec. Maybe, and I think that this is a lot of communities are struggling with this. Maybe there's a way the city can start collecting some of this news without. It's a slippery slope. It really is, the news business, but the newspapers just can't make it anymore, and the social media channels in Shakopee aren't going to cut it either. So that's part of it. But transparency has been great with Shakopee. We have a new tool that just won an award for. You take your value of your house, you plug that in, and it'll tell you exactly what you're paying for on your Shakopee taxes. So that's a great tool for transparency. And you might even see me asking stupid questions at council meetings, because I want the people watching, whoever few that might be, I hope it's a lot, but I want them to understand what we're talking about. Sometimes we talk in acronyms and different things, and I might ask a silly question so that people know what we're talking about, or even bring something up like that. I think that's transparency in city government. So, hey, let's get this out. Tell people what we're talking about.
Great. Thank you, Jay. That's our question. So just give you an opportunity to give your closing statement and message to the voters.
Thank you. My name is Jay Whiting. You can find my website at jaywhitingforcouncil.com. I'm asking for your vote. I've done this for almost 13 years and a lot of projects. I think I'm doing pretty well. Look at your taxes, one of the lowest tax cities and they're comparable. So we're doing good. We're doing some great projects and keeping your taxes low. I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank the Chamber and you, Tim. I'm asking for your vote. Vote November 5th. Thank you.
Thank you. The views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these interviews as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure the objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate, but seeks to provide you, the citizens and voters of Shakopee, with information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. Once again, thank you, Jay. We appreciate your time and your service to our community by running for office. You are performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2024.